This is Chris from Houston, and you're listening to Drunkards United. Come on, you Iron!
It was a scorcher out there today trying to slay the dragon.
Very hot.
Ooh, my God. I had to
Very
come home
hot.
and take a cold shower.
Yeah, it was terrible.
You know what else was also hot this weekend?
Me?
The Prem action.
Oh.
Let's start the show. Hello and welcome to the Drunkard United Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is the ethereal Samuel Graham. I know I've used it before, but you're wispy. You're like the air, Sam.
Yeah, I'm everywhere all the time.
How you doing, sir?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Long day. We're recording incredibly late tonight, which is out of the ordinary for us, but
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Very late tonight.
We're recording at Studio H, just outside our nation's capital. You can check us out on just about every podcast platform out there, including brand new, of course, YouTube and iHeartRadio now. We're also on there as well.
We're official.
Yeah, check us out. All official and shit.
Yeah.
Please subscribe, share, rate, and review.
On whatever platform you listen
Yeah,
on. Everything.
absolutely.
Comment on the YouTube screenshot. This is not a video.
This is where I talk and you be
Sorry.
quiet. Yeah, thanks. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Sammy, why don't you tell the good people how they can get in touch?
Absolutely. And we had a few people get in touch
Fabulous.
this time. We are at DU Football Show on all the social medias. So make sure you are sliding in those DMs because we love to chat during games. Give us a follow on Twitter. We'll follow you back. That way we can talk. Well, Big Sam can talk. He mans the Twitter. I man the Instagram. dufootballshow@gmail.com is our email address where you can get in touch with your bet of the week. Please do that also. Basically, we use us.888sport.com to find the money lines. We are in the state of Maryland. It is illegal to bet here. So we bet,
yeah.
kind of.
Let's just say we have a very influential Uncle Vincenzo who helps take care of our betting for us.
So make sure you get your bet of the weekend. We're not actually placing your bet, but we are going to allow the listeners to keep going if they get it right, which our bet of the week did last week.
I know he did.
More on
come
that
in.
later.
Absolutely.
But anyway, a couple people got in touch. John, always a pleasure.
Yes.
Hearing from Mr. John.
Otis Anderson.
That's right. Got a little gif of Nicholas Pepe's turn on Ben Mee, who apparently was praising the good Lord after he got nutmegged, which was fantastic. And then a lovely meme of Lowton for Burnley just took down Matteo Guendouzi.
Right.
And David Luiz happens to be in the background of the photo, and it says, when you know you can act like a prick to an older kid because your big brother is behind you. Very funny. Love that. Old Ray got in touch, of course, about VAR and during the United match, and we talked. He's also against it. Let's just put it that way. And we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. And then Russ got in touch. Old Russ, our my stand-in when I'm unavailable. With a question, how many more PKs do you think Pogba's going to take this year?
We'll answer that a little bit later on into the show.
Fair enough. And then he said, better yet, how many more matches will Pogba play before he's sold?
That would be January.
I think he's going to play a fair few, to be honest. Other than that, Evan got in touch, too, our Manchester City fan from the summer.
Yes.
With the little video from, I know it's not the Premier League, but it was Ortiz Aduriza's goal against Barcelona that took Atletico Bilbao on the opening day of the season, 1-0 over Barcelona.
No shit. Good on you.
Fucking peach.
Yeah.
Overhead kick from beyond the penalty spot off of it was either a deep cross or a corner, and he cranked that thing. Goalkeeper Ter Stegen had no chance.
I was gonna say we had a few
chance.
Had a few peaches ourselves this weekend in the Prem as well.
But it was lovely. We just love football, so send us that kind of stuff too.
Cool. So the Houston contingent, all of the West Ham boys, were reaching out on Twitter as well.
The old Irons.
Taking a touch of umbrage with our flippantness of the Manchester City fouling and them kind of complaining about it a little bit. I say stop giving up 5 fucking goals, and then we'll start talking about over-fouling. Sam and I both work in the wine and spirits industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans that we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every show. Sammy, what are we sipping on tonight?
We have Lip Service Rye Whiskey, which is the first rye release from Dave Finney, the famed winemaker from Location Wines.
We had the one with the burning chair on it.
The burning
season.
chair.
Yeah, we had that last season.
Which is the bourbon, yep.
Yeah.
Each barrel is hand-selected for its unique attributes by Dave. The youngest rye in the blend is 3 years old. It starts off in New American Oak, of course. It's aged for a minimum of 3 years in that oak. And then it's finished, this particular one is finished in wine barrels from a Grenache project he's working on in France.
Oh,
So,
very nice.
Yeah, lovely little rye. 51% rye, 45% corn, so very high corn on
More
the mash
of a
bill.
Maryland-style rye.
Yeah, and 4% malted barley. That is going to run you between $32.99 and $35.99 on the shelf. Comes in at 45% by volume or 90 proof.
That's much more affordable than I remember his first run of whiskeys being. So that's good. Be smart. You got to put something. You got to put something that you're going to be able to sell to the masses.
100%.
So. All right, killer. Let's have a great show.
You ready to put past this shitty start to the show?
No, I thought the show start was just fine. That's all you, killer.
Fair enough.
So we're going to start the week with this show with the best 2 games that also happen to be draws from the weekend.
They were excellent games, though.
Manchester City 2, Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1, Leicester City 1. Right off the jump, City gave away 2 leads in this match.
Yeah. And really, I mean, some of the stats I wrote down because it's a little intriguing to me how Tottenham only managed to get what they got. City only had 55% possession. They dominated the rest of the stats. 10 shots on target to Tottenham's 2, which was 30 overall shots for City to Tottenham's 3. So they scored on their only 2 shots on target at all.
Yeah.
And City wasted a boatload of chances, basically. 13 corners City had to Tottenham's 2. They completely bossed the match despite only having 55% possession.
Oh, hands down, they did.
And they didn't do hardly anything with it.
Yeah. The 2 goals that they got were kind of the, pardon me, kind of that normal Manchester City way of scoring, so just pass it around and all of a sudden somebody's inside the box to just tap it away or head it away, like really.
Raheem Sterling's header was brilliant.
It was a good header.
It totally meant to do it, too.
But what's just kind of funny in that instance is nothing's changed with City, but they just looked a little sloppy in the back, like they. And with a good squad like Tottenham's going to make you fucking pay.
Ederson especially. I don't know what his positioning was on that first goal. He was
horrible,
well out of the way. But Lamela did well to see him off his line, and then use Laporte as a screen as he was coming across the block. He hooked it with with his left foot. I'm sorry, inside of his left foot, bent it around Aymeric Laporte, and Ederson still saw it late.
Yeah.
And caught him well out. I mean, it bounced outside the 6 and still went in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Fairly central in the net also.
Yeah. Oh, he looked flat-footed.
Oh, yeah.
He dove very late, and it looked like when the play buildup was happening, he was both feet completely flat on the ground, not on his toes at all, not ready for anything.
And then Kyle Walker with his error as well, letting Lucas Moura steal in front of him and just have a go. Ederson also kind of in no man's land.
Late on that dive.
Don't know what was with him.
Got high in the
Saturday.
air, but it doesn't really matter if you don't make the damn save.
Yeah, that I don't know what to tell you.
Who are we kidding?
VAR fucking ruined it.
We need to talk about the end of the match. That's all we fucking care about is the end of the match.
Yeah.
Now hold on, wait a minute. What happened was what
happened was
it wasn't VAR. It's the rule change, Sam. It's the rule change.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous is what it is.
So the rule, and I'm sure many of you have already know this rule because, well, you've been inundated with it now by the end of this weekend, that apparently, and they didn't bring it up during the Leicester Wolves match until after the fact and said, oh, yeah, that was the same call. because, well, it was Leicester and Wolves, and NBC didn't care. But now that it was City, it happened to NBC Sports cared, so
Gave
they
a
talked
shit.
about
Yeah,
it like crazy.
absolutely.
Apparently, if the ball hits an attacking player's arm in a goal-scoring setup or in a goal scored, it does not matter if it was unintentional or intentional. It is immediately a handball, and the goal is disallowed.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
He
Eric
knew nothing
Laporte's
about it.
heads forward
Completely
to head a ball.
unintentional.
His arms are behind him, and the ball misses his head, grazes off of his arm, falls to Gabriel Jesus, who then still has to do something with it.
Yeah, he beat two players cutting back in towards the center of the goal and unleashed a ferocious effort into the far corner.
And then they went ahead to the VAR officials, had phoned into the ref.
Ref didn't even go look at it.
The ref didn't even go look at it, but this is what the VAR officials decided to miss. It hitting his arm, hitting the Tottenham player's arm, and, oh yeah, the Tottenham player's arm completely around Eric Laporte, who did eventually fall on the deck. But who cares about all that other shit? A ball unintentionally hit Laporte's arm, hence it's no goal.
Personally, I always love to see Tottenham lose. With Arsenal's amazing start to the season, the draw was the best result that I could have hoped for. Have both of them drop points, so I'm not super mad at it.
Right.
Except I'm really super fucking mad at it.
Because that's going to happen to you this season.
Yep.
That's going to happen to you
It's going to happen to
season.
everybody this season, and it's ridiculous. I'll come on to what Nuno Espirito Santo said today after in the post-match against United for the United Wolves game. And I think he completely captured what every football fan is feeling right now. But we'll go into that later when we cover theirs.
Yeah, it honestly, it tainted what was otherwise an amazing match, which it's funny because now this is twice in a row that City has ultimately had a demise against Tottenham, and both instances it was a VAR that got them in the end.
Yeah, absolutely, which just shows what kind of cheater City is.
So looking at the other game, look, got me there. So looking at the other game, Chelsea came out on fire.
Yes.
Whew, they were fired up to be home, huh?
Oh, yeah. Mason Mount was pressing high up the field and hurried Wilfred Ndidi, which caused that first goal, which was absolutely brilliant. Great strength, great balance to hold off Ndidi after he stole the ball. Excuse me. And then the wherewithal and composure to just slot home at the far stick when Kasper Schmeichel was diving near post was brilliant. They came out and they bossed that match for the opening forever.
Right. Well, other side note is we're not going to suck the cock of the USA team. He started. He was a non-factor. We're not going to fucking talk about him.
He had one good chance, but there was a great block from the Leicester defense. I mean,
No.
he put himself in one good position. One good position in the entire half.
Yeah.
And then Leicester got a good block in, but Christian Pulisic was not a factor in this game whatsoever.
Cool. And that's all we're going to say about him.
Yep.
But then it's just seemed like as the half went on, just Chelsea just kind of seemed content
Yeah.
with the lead. They weren't pressing. It didn't seem
mean,
like
they
they were
waste-
trying to hold on to the lead. Like it
No.
didn't seem like they were like, oh, we're going to retreat and try to hold on to this lead. But they just kind of stopped playing in the first half.
I mean, they wasted a chance or two also. But Leicester then kind of grew into the game and had their own chances as well.
Second half was all Leicester.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
They came out a brand
all
new
Leicester.
team, and Wilfred Ndidi made up for his mistake, and a towering header from him was brilliant. Was absolutely brilliant. From a James Madison corner, by the way.
Yes.
Like to see him back on the score sheet.
Would you say that was Chelsea surviving a point or dropping 2 points?
The way that the second half went, and as much of the ball as Leicester had, I'd say that's probably Chelsea holding on for a point.
Yeah.
Had the game ended 1-1 after the first half, I would have said it's 2 points lost.
Right.
But they came out not the same team in the second half. And I'm not sure what Frank's doing in there, whether he's giving a proper team talk or just getting a cup of tea. But he's got to do something to keep these players motivated because his substitutions really didn't even do much for me either.
Vardy
to be fair.
Vardy just barely missed one
Oh yeah,
right near the stretch.
another one. He had a gilt-edged chance in the first game of the season as well that he missed. I'm hoping that's not the start of a slump for him.
I did enjoy the end of the game because we got our normal Jamie effing Vardy moment where one of the defenders for Chelsea literally just throws their arms around him and goes to hug him, and he just like shrugs them off and they fall on the ground. And then the ref calls him for the foul, and he's just like, Vardy turns around and he goes, "He was fucking hugging me."
Yeah, yeah, it was brilliant. They both took a tumble. I want to say it may have been Jorginho, to be honest with you. I don't know who it was.
I like the pictures when they show the players up there, and you have the players just kind of standing, and then there's a Vardy, hands on his hips, like his pelvis is leaning out, and you don't know whether he wants to fuck you or punch you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, that would be James Vardy for us, people. Oh, yeah, but it's surprising that really, I mean, there was some really good action this weekend, but ultimately those two games really were, I would say, the best two games of the weekend, personally.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And really, Chelsea do look like they're coming together. They started to look like they had more of a plan. They started to look like they were playing more together. I thought it was interesting. Tammy Abraham dropped to the bench in favor of Olivier Giroud, but Mason Mount kept his place.
Right.
Ultimately got the goal. Giroud also played a pivotal role in the opening stages, chesting a ball down for Pedro, whose shot ultimately went wide.
Right.
But they looked more dangerous with Giroud up front as opposed to Abraham. I just think it's his experience and his size,
Right.
Personally, which I harped on before the season started. If anybody is keeping track of how good I am at my job.
No, nobody is.
All right.
So, but I think ultimately this is what we're going to expect
Mel's
out of
just shaking her head.
I know, because you looked right at me that's taking notes, and I'm looking at my notes going, nope, didn't write that down.
Cheers. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Sam wants to name the title of the show something about how great he is. That's pretty much every week.
Yeah.
And that is riveting broadcasting, Samuel Graham. Thank you so very much.
Why would I do anything different?
I think we're going to see a lot of this out of Chelsea the whole year. There's going to be moments of brilliance. There's going to be games. There's going to be 4 or 5 games where they put it all together and be world beaters. And then there's going to be, 2,
Stupid
3.
ass. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
Yeah,
you know
it
what
could
I'm
happen.
saying? But they'll go out and they'll draw Liverpool and they'll take City to the to the end of the game or something.
Yeah.
And then turn around and lose to Villa and draw Norwich. You know what I mean? They're going to be up and down all season.
That's going to be a lot of that.
That's part of blooding in young players.
Yeah.
That's part of not being able to shake things up and sign people. And that's part of continuing to play N'Golo Kante out of position.
Well, I thought this week they put him as a 2 in
Tactically, on the TV screen, yes. That's not how he played for me.
Yeah, played a lot higher.
I saw him higher. I don't know if he's trying to push higher up the pitch and press higher up the pitch, and Conte's fast enough to recover as opposed to Jorginho.
Right.
So, and better defensively just in general, so he pushes him forward instead. I saw him on the right. I saw him on the left a little bit. He's still, for me, being played out of position.
Jamie, you think you could have scored that fucking goal and won me $400 fucking dollars? Next up, we have two sides that will be facing each other this upcoming weekend. Both got victories, but they weren't as easy as they should have been. Liverpool 2, Southampton 1, Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. Really ugly first half for Liverpool. They did not look on their game.
It was poor. Very poor. I don't know if it was just the midweek trip to Istanbul, which was a fantastic game, by the way.
Oh, it was.
The Super Cup. But they played nearly a full-strength squad in that game and then came back to this one. Ralph Hasenhüttl, the Austrian, had his team prepared, ready to go, but at the end of the day, they're still fucking shite.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those teams where I don't think he's a coach that's going to get fired, but I don't think he's a coach, despite his success he had with Red Bull in Germany. I don't see where he's going to get this team over the hump. I thought they were in trouble last year. I think they're in trouble this year.
Absolutely.
I don't think they have the pieces. And They've played the Great Escape for too long, and you see this when you have a team who plays Great Escape like 4 or 5 seasons in a row, and then finally there's a season that it just completely falls apart.
Yeah.
Sunderland would be a great example. Stoke would be a great example when it just all suddenly crumbles.
Now, the other thing is I can see, and here's your difference, right? Timo Pukki nabbing 4 goals in 2 games.
Right.
Che Adams, supposed to be their goalmouth savior, hasn't really done shit.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing at all.
Now, granted, Che Adams is very young. Timo Pukki's 29.
Right.
And he's done it in a couple of different countries. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, okay, I understand that to an extent. But Che Adams, for me, hasn't really looked to threaten properly.
No, not at all.
He had a couple of half chances in the first match. And then in this one, had a couple of pullbacks. I didn't really see much out of him, to be fair.
No, I agree. The saving grace for Liverpool was getting that goal just before the end of the half. That can always turn around a game for you.
Yeah.
You can play horrible, and you get that goal right at the end of the first half in stoppage time, especially in a tie game. That puts you up. That deflates them, and inflates the hell out of you.
Absolutely. And that was a brilliant strike, by the way. Did well to get the ball out of his feet, and just find that little half yard to rifle into the far corner. That was excellent by the old 5 head.
Did what they needed to do to get a win. You know, it's
for sure.
Everybody expects it to always just be for City and Liverpool these 4-0 victories, and beat the crap out of everybody. Going down to the South Coast isn't always easy, and sometimes they're going to be up for it, or sometimes you just, you're in Istanbul in the middle of the week and you're fucking tired.
Well, and you have to rely on the veneers to take the win for you.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, can I just quickly mention that Adrian is no Allison?
No, he is Allison. He did exactly, he fucked up for a goal like Allison's fucked up for a goal.
The first half, he got away with it. Got lucky, went out for a goal kick.
Mm-hmm.
The second half, not so lucky.
Well, look, he passed the ball. It just happened to be passed off of Danny Ings into the back of the net.
Now, Danny Ings meant to do that. He stretched for it and everything. That was pitiful by Adrian.
Yeah.
That's my point.
It was horrific.
That was absolutely fucking pitiful.
It was horrific. It was
terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
After the penalty save in the Super Cup to win them the trophy.
That didn't have VAR, that had him like a whole foot off of the line when the ball was kicked. But
his first trophy, 32 years old, first trophy in his career.
Good on him.
Yeah. Then he did this.
And then he does this. Well, because, if you don't have a solid backup goalkeeper, this is what's going to happen.
If I was Liverpool, be careful for this fucking weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I do agree to that. I think I think you guys are ready to play them. That's for damn sure. So, for Arsenal and Burnley, I was up drinking till 4 o'clock in the morning. Fuck you. I wasn't getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning. How'd your game go?
Joe Willock and Reece Nelson, both kept their they both kept their place in the team. First start of the season for Danny Ceballos and Alex Lacazette also. Great strength from Laka to hold off the 2 Burnley defenders following a corner. He kept his feet and his strike nutmeg Nick Pope, which was great.
Yeah.
Hit off the inside of his heel and went into the roof of the net. But it was great strength for him to turn, keep his feet, and then as he was falling, strike on target. Bird Leno and Nick Pope were both called into action here and there. Both of them did well to repel the opposing players. Ashley Barnes found himself some space inside the box after a deflected effort fell to him, and he drew Burnley level in the second half. And then Arsenal missed a few great chances, but Aubameyang came through after good defensive work from Ceballos, fired in the near post from outside the box, and then Leno did well to preserve that lead. And Arsenal have won their opening 2 games for the first time in 10 fucking years.
Hey, how about that?
A decade.
Uh-huh.
A fucking decade.
How'd last year go for you the first 2 games?
0 for 6 points. 0 out of 6 points.
Heard.
Really, it was a great performance from the Arsenal, to be honest. Danny Ceballos especially. He took the man of the match, the Budweiser king of the match, if you look at the Premier League app, because they're sponsoring it this season.
Okay.
But he was fantastic. Both sides of the ball. Had a couple of dribbles that were excellent. Had defensively did some good work. Just his awareness on the pitch, his passion. After he assisted Aubameyang for that goal, ran separately by himself to celebrate in the corner for the work that he did, and then Alba joined him later. He had a poor touch. They won the ball back. He pressed quickly, won the ball immediately back off, and that one touch that he won the ball with went straight to Aubameyang. He cut inside 2 touches later. It's in the back of the net.
Nice.
And it was fantastic. And well-deserved player of the season. He looks physically running on the field a lot like Aaron Ramsey, but he's got the feet and the vision of Santi Cazorla.
Okay. It's a nice combination of players.
Fucking loving it. I'm
Excellent.
fucking loving it.
So Ozil can stay home and play Fortnite and you'll be all right?
I don't give a shit. I almost put a... Listen, the football that he was playing, I almost put a condom on.
Oh, heard.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Talk about me rubbing my veins all the time.
I wanted to fuck
Christ, look at what you're doing right now.
I mean, if you really loved it, wouldn't you not wear a condom?
No.
Okay, well, we're getting out of hand here, killers. The Burnley, now that they don't have Europe to worry about, I think we're seeing exactly what Burnley's always been. A tough fucking out, man. They're going to play you tough. They're going to play you defensive.
Yeah.
And they're going to nick some points off of people.
Absolutely.
But every good team is going to have to work to get that 3 points against that squad.
I know it's only 2 games into the season, but what I say about if Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood can figure out how to score consistently. You have Ashley Barnes now 3 in 2 games. You know, if he can keep it going, if he can keep doing that, you're going to see some 1-0s and 1-1s in Burnley's favor.
Oh, yeah. A lot of them.
And Nick Pope, I mean, what did we say? Jordan Pickford was by far, in a way, the number 1 goalkeeper for England.
Yeah.
Last
Heaton,
summer.
too.
Heaton and Nick Pope. They had the next 2 England goalkeepers. Nobody doubted that Nick Pope was ready for this.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. He was
so when
definitely
Tom
ready for it.
Heaton left, you knew exactly, as long as he was fit, you knew it was going to be Nick Pope, and he pulled out some fantastic saves in this game.
He's a hell of a keeper.
Yeah, he's going to win them some points this season from his position. Absolutely.
I mean, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Like last season, we were already talking about, do we need to be worried? There's nothing to be worried about with this side.
No, they have
this side honestly could very quietly find themselves in the top 10 because they're back to being themselves again, and there's no outside distractions.
Yeah.
And they'll just go do a job.
Well, that's it. They have a thin squad, but as long as they're only competing in 2-3 competitions, they're fine. You add in, a Thursday trip to fucking Liechtenstein, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Everybody's tired. It's horrible. Nothing to add there?
No, our producer's just giggling because you said Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Yeah, I am.
Those are the kind of teams that show up in the Europa League, and it sucks.
She's still laughing over Liechtenstein. Sam, at least 2 of the newly promoted sides have gotten their first win of the season.
Yes, they did.
So let's see if I say this correctly, Dom. Norwich City. Because apparently I say Norwich. It's Norwich.
Yeah, it's Norwich.
Norwich City. Okay. I'm sure Dom will let me know. He said I got all the names right last week. I just couldn't say Norwich City.
I gotcha.
Oh.
It's all right.
Oh, anywho. Norwich City, 3. Newcastle 1. I fucked it up
I
already.
like that inflection, though. Norwich City.
Sheffield United 1. Crystal Palace 0. Hello.
In the unenthusiastic hand job of the weekend.
Oh, very much so.
Fucking terrible.
Hello and welcome to the Premier League, Timu Pukki.
Every type of goal
Jesus.
is fantastic. That volley. That volley that killed somebody.
He ripped that volley.
That's fantastic.
And it wasn't even within, like the minute that went off his foot, you're like, oh, goal.
Yeah, it's a laser beam.
Yeah, goal.
Dubravka got a hand to it.
Yeah, goal. Didn't matter.
Not even
It could
close.
have been right at Dubravka's 2 hands. It would have gone
It would
through
go through,
his hands,
yeah.
taken his head off, and gone into the back of the
Yeah,
net.
he may have flown into the net with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He hit that with some ferocity. It was absolutely brilliant in that first one. And just, he seems to be not as good as, obviously, well, actually, that remains to be seen. But seems to me the type of like Ruud van Nistelrooy, always in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
That corner, he was drifting out towards the edge of the box for no apparent reason. The ball wasn't played to him. It was just overhit.
And then
He just happened to be there.
Boom, goal.
Yeah. What you worried about?
Now, I know it's early in the season. I wonder though, watching that game in particular, everything went to Pookie. Everything, like every single ball that when they attacked, it all goes to his foot. A smarter,
and he missed 2 chances.
A smarter, stronger defensive team is not going to let him be a part of the game. And I wonder is it a one-trick pony for the Canaries, or I mean, can he keep this kind of pace up? Is he going to be a 20-goal scorer in the Prem?
No.
Could defenders figure him out really easily and shut him down?
Also, no.
I just...
He'll get 15, I think. And I also think Norwich will be safe.
Oh, really?
I think they're going to...
You feel good about him?
I think they're going to dominate at home. They're going to feed off of the atmosphere at Carrow Road, which they were fantastic this weekend. Now, obviously, they had a lot to cheer for, but the second goal for me, start here, was more of Dubravka's fault, in my opinion. Getting beat at the near post. Granted, it did come through 3 people before he saw it, so he did see it late. But there's only one spot he's going in.
Right.
And I'm not sure why Dubravka wasn't in position for that. The third goal for me was purely instinctual. He took over a dribble, and I didn't see him move his mouth from the highlights.
No.
I didn't see him talk. I didn't see him do anything. Just I can't remember who it was dribbling across the goal. Just knew, let him fucking go, and had Newcastle completely at 6s and 7s, and then had the wherewithal and the composure to go back on his weaker foot, his left foot, and go back to the far post.
Yeah.
And Dubravka was in fucking no man's land.
I think Dubravka's problem currently is that he's not able to focus on making saves
because the rest of his team fucking sucks.
Because he has to focus on making sure his defense actually covers something, because they are just wandering around like lost animals in a field, just with their heads in the air, just going the whole time.
Yeah.
Fucking Newcastle, man.
Ooh. Let me tell you something. Rafa Benitez didn't play John Joe Shelby for a reason.
Right.
He's not a shit coach. He's won the Champions League. He's coached Real Madrid. He's coached Napoli. He's coached Liverpool. He's coached Chelsea. He knows what the fuck he's doing. And John Joe Shelby was not really a part of his plans for real. Why Steve Bruce has continued to go with Shelby so far, I'm not sure. He thinks the defensive work is beneath him. He doesn't track back. Mm-hmm. He's not good. It doesn't look like he talks
a typical hothead as well.
Yeah, he picks a great pass. He's got a lot of attributes as a player, which we've sung his praises for on this show. But defensively, with the way Newcastle is right now, he's a liability, and he shouldn't be on the field.
One of the questions I wrote right after this, it's perfect that you say it. Is this a game where Newcastle really needed Rafa?
Yeah.
This is a game last year with Rafa.
Why wasn't Longstaff starting?
This is a draw.
Why wasn't Longstaff starting?
I have no idea. Yeah,
he's one of your best players.
Absolutely.
United wanted him for $40 million or whatever it was.
Yeah, and you're not going to play him.
You're not going to play him?
You're going to play Shelby instead.
Why?
What's
the point?
Almiron
looks disinterested.
I watched last week's game against you guys, and I'm like, okay, you know what? There's some pieces here. I think they'll be all right.
And I said the same thing.
And I even said, look, obviously Mike Ashley can fuck this whole thing up. I didn't realize it would all get fucked up literally in 6 days.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And now they play Spurs
100%.
next week. And I'm figuring they're going to get their asses kicked by Spurs 4-0.
I'm also not trying to take anything away from Norwich and Timo Pukki. I thought they were all fantastic.
They were on point.
They played great football.
Absolutely on point.
They had over 2/3 of the ball. But a lot of it was down to Newcastle just being complete and utter shite.
Yeah.
They really were just dog shit.
Defense at 6s and 7s.
I'm not
midfield not really working. Offense not really trying to create anything. It was just, it wasn't good.
I mean, we joke a lot about, the dumpster fire that is Newcastle all summer and that kind of stuff. And we, kind of rag on our boy Allen a little bit and that kind of stuff. But this was this was championship football they were playing, and Norwich was playing at the Premier League level.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
It just
Alan,
wasn't good.
Alan, quick shout out to you real quick. Start prepping your notes. You're going to be on this show a lot sooner than you think if it keeps going this way for old Newcastle.
Yeah. We got to get some answers. I don't even know what to say about it.
I caught you mid vape. That was fabulous. I didn't even have a question to throw back to you. I just looked at you and you were like, "Oh shit, stop vaping."
Yeah. So no, I don't know, man. For all the good work that Rafa did and the organization and the everything, the Lascelles. Now, granted, they don't have DeAndre Yedlin at the moment because he's injured.
Yeah, that hurts.
Giving pace on the opposite side from Almiron, so giving both sides of the defense something to worry about.
Right, and then you got Richie on that side behind Almiron, so there's at least somebody good crossing. It's all lopsided. It's all on one
and
side of the
very easy
field.
to defend against.
Yeah,
but just in general, the defensive shape just doesn't look good, and that's typical of a Steve Bruce side.
all right. We tried to stall long enough. Time to talk about the I can't even say it right today. The unenthusiastic hand job.
There we go.
But not for the Blades. The Blades were very happy.
Yeah.
They're a feisty bunch, aren't they?
The Blades.
It's Mel's favorite thing.
Yeah.
I love that. Shout out to Nick.
They played a couple of good passes.
Okay. Just coming. Getting lost in your notes there, huh, Killer?
No, I'm not getting lost. I'm trying to figure out where to start.
Well,
because there's just not a lot to talk about.
Okay, well,
even in this time where if you go on the NBC Sports app and you do the highlights, because we literally cannot watch every football match that happens. So
this
we
one
watch a lot of.
This one I actually watched. I got up and watched the whole damn thing.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of highlights to do this job, and
90 minutes of my life I won't get back, Brad.
This year,
Yes,
they don't have regular highlights. It's all extended. So nothing's been less than 10 minutes in the highlight package.
and it's not anything that's good either.
Even then, this just had 8 minutes of lowlights.
There was a lot of buildup in that one for you, huh, Sam?
And then 15 seconds of highlights.
So you were
where the goal was scored was good.
So when you were writing those out today, doing your notes, you were pretty proud of that one, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah,
in
good.
the
It
first
wasn't
half,
that good.
you had one really good save from Guaita for Crystal Palace. And McGoldrick, who looks like the villain in the Shaft movies, had that chance and should have done a lot better. And then Lundstrom scored, and Palace were all over the place after good work from Sheffield United. Down the left, couple of one-touch passes, but it seemed to me like Palace was in last-ditch defending mode well too early, 2-3 passes too early, and it just dragged their entire defense out of position. And Lundstrom found himself inside the 18 with no one really around him.
Yeah, Guaita made a good save. It fell to open space, and there he was to put it away.
He was in the right place at the right time again, and then just picked his spot well.
So two different things. One thing from Sheffield, one thing from Palace. Sheffield seems to play this, like squirt football when you were a kid, with like little kids, right? The first time they play, and you go out as a coach and you go, okay, you're playing goalkeeper, you're playing left back, little Billy, you're playing right back, little Johnny, and then the minute the ball gets kicked, like 8 kids run to the middle and just chase around after the ball the whole time.
Yep.
I kind of feel like that Sheffield. Like I see like center backs inside the 18 on the attacking side of the field. Now they all get back. Like, everybody gets back, but it's just this, like, frenetic, crazy pace where everybody is fucking everywhere, and they're hacking and fouling and knocking people around, which is exciting to watch, but you just kind of look at it and go, can this really work in the Prem?
This season's Huddersfield.
That's
what Huddersfield did when they first came up. They'll probably survive this year, and then they'll get found out next year.
Yeah, I just feel like a stronger, better, a team that can control the ball better is just gonna rip them apart.
Either one of us is gonna beat them 3-4-0.
I see City beating them like 7-0.
Yeah, easy.
I mean, I see them like
100%.
completely demolishing them. Now on the other side though is Palace. Who the fuck's gonna score? Better yet, who the fuck wants to score?
That's exactly what I wrote down. Who's gonna score the goals?
Like I said, who wants to score even? It's just it's unreal.
It doesn't look good.
Makes no sense.
Does not look good. Benteke looked like shit. Wilfred Zaha didn't really have a sniff, in my opinion. It wasn't good. from them at all going forward. James MacArthur, did you see that towards the end of the game?
McCarthy, you mean, my boy.
What did I say, MacArthur?
Yeah, MacArthur.
Sorry.
Remember, they have a
McCarthy.
MacArthur and a McCarthy.
Yeah. James McCarthy. I'm sorry.
Fucking Sheffield player came in hot. It was studs up, and it
it
was in
hit-
the ankle.
Well,
and
he hit the
he
ankle, and then he also took the plant leg as well. His knee came straight in the middle of his shin.
Yeah, and
you
that
break a
is-
leg like that.
he had a leg broken like that.
Yep.
Like,
So he
there's a
came-
reason why he lost
Now,
his shit.
I want to know if you noticed the background, just the other side of the advertising hoardings, where the Crystal Palace fan decided to jump and try and attack the Sheffield United player, but the stewards were there to catch him.
I did see that. I
And
see them
6
carrying
of
the
them
guy up.
drag him off.
Yep.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
They're like, we just spent £8 million on that fucking Irishman. You better
That's
not
right.
fucking break his goddamn leg.
Again.
I'll break your leg.
Right.
Oh, and
But I also like how McCarthy got up to protest, was so pissed off that it happened, and then limped away and fell over again.
that was pretty,
Quality.
The
Fucking quality.
well, and then of course the beauty is that the news everybody wants to hear at Crystal Palace. James McCarthy's been recalled to the Irish team, where he broke his fucking leg the last time because
Yeah.
no one goes and plays for Ireland and
Nope.
makes it out alive.
Not a chance.
Wrapping up the rest of the weekend, we have so that happened. Everton 1, Watford 0. Brighton 1, West Ham 1. Manchester United 1, Wolverhampton 1. And Bournemouth 2. And some Villanistas team lost 2-1, Aston Villa.
Yep.
Yeah, that was all over the place, but I just had to mock someone who's going to have to do another shot on Malort.
Hi.
So Everton Watford we starting with?
Yeah, pretty easy. Everton gets a win at home. This is kind of what you expect.
Started off kind of frenetic though.
Yeah, you feel like they could have maybe done more. You would have. I personally, I would have liked to have seen a 2-0 win. Watford grew into the game, particularly at the end of the first half, and we kind of let it get away from us a little. But the pieces are starting to mold in. Fortunately, Andres Gomez was able to play. JPEG started again and looked much better. Still had a few mistakes. He's definitely got to learn the pace of this league because he gets caught every once in a while, just kind of dribbling with his back turned
Yeah.
and somebody comes and takes it right off his foot.
Yep.
But he's getting the hang of the league, and I think he's physical enough for it. It's also one of the shows we listened to brought up a very good point. He played for a very bad team in Germany. So as a defensive midfielder, he probably spent a lot of his time just getting rid of the fucking ball.
I don't remember the transfer recap. Where did he come from?
Mainz.
Got it.
Oh, you wanted to just see if I could say it?
No.
Okay, you just didn't
really
remember
didn't remember.
it. Okay, well, go ahead. Your thoughts.
I drank a lot.
Yes. I did too.
So like I said, the game started pretty frenetic.
So did Mel.
What?
We all drank a lot.
Oh,
you
yeah.
drank a lot. I drank a
That's
lot.
true.
She drank a lot. You can
I
kind of tell
listened
on
to it.
that.
It was bad.
We were all very
were
intoxicated.
all over the fucking place.
We're lucky I saved it.
Luca Digne. What an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And what a willing runner in Bernard. I mean, that wasn't really on, to be honest. He just kind of hoofed it.
Yep.
But he hoofed it in the perfect area for Bernard to just chase after it. Got there in front of his defender, cut inside, and instead, like last year, hitting it with his plant foot and whiffing it, actually finished.
Or just the fact that he went to goal with it. A lot of times
He goes
looks
wide
for
and
the
then tries
pass.
to pull
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to goal and was direct. I mean, it wasn't the greatest shot in the world, but Foster certainly wasn't ready for it. The defense wasn't ready for it. So, good on him.
And that 1-0 win basically can come down to Jordan Pickford's face off of that Deeney chance.
Yep.
Saved it. Deeney even picked him up afterwards, and he's one of the biggest assholes in the league.
Yep.
Because he saw it just hit him square in the fucking face.
Yeah, because that's how
He
we get
saved it with his face.
that's how we get the rave on, baby. That's how we get the rave on.
What was that YouTube video? The college goalkeeper
Oh,
would hit him in the face.
Scott Sterling.
Scott Sterling.
Scott Sterling. There's the Great Wall of China, and then there is Scott Sterling.
That also in my head always gets blended with ESPN 8 The Ocho commentary. He hit him right in the face, Cotton.
He's going in soft, got.
His face was soft after that.
So another interesting thing, I would imagine Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be playing a little bit longer. Go ahead, just keep ripping them as I can hear you doing it. Go right ahead, because you then look around. So, boys and girls, Graham just decided to let's say
gassy.
pass wind.
I'm very gassy.
And he just did it, and he looks around as I'm speaking, but looks at me kind of slyly, and then does it again. And it's like, what? You don't think I'm going to call you out on it?
Very gassy.
Anywho, Dominic Calvert-Lewin I think will continue to start for the immediate future, but Moise Kean.
That was the other thing I had written down too.
Oh,
Moise Kean, when he came on, it was strong. He was willing. He showed for the ball. He played brilliantly. Dragged one shot wide. I think he was offside, but
and then the other one he put pretty wide. But the build-up play to get to that point, right off the bench, just completely shook a defender.
I don't know if it was the television angles. I don't know what it was, but he looked big, thick, and strong.
Yeah.
This game, unlike he did last time.
Well, I think
for whatever reason.
I think last time he gets out on the pitch, and then very shortly thereafter, Schneiderlin gets a
red, and then he couldn't.
And he's
really,
a man on an island. Then
right.
It's just
But the way he posted up at the top of the 18, the one he dragged wide that I think he was offside for, was just the strength he had to hold off. The Watford defender was absolutely. I think it might have been Decore,
right,
who's a strong lad himself. Was absolutely brilliant. And then the wherewithal to get that little half yard and to turn and fire. Granted, it was wide, but I see good things out of him. And
you look at that, that's encouraging. And also,
he didn't look to get frustrated either.
No, not at all. It was just he was excited to be out there. He was excited to be playing. Then with their defense, when their defense was in control of the ball, he wasn't running around like a lunatic, but they knew he was there.
Yeah.
And every defender that touched the ball, you saw him within 5 feet of them pretty quickly. And it wasn't frenetic. It wasn't all over the place. It was very well thought out. And something tells me a missed pass is going in his direction one of these times, and he's going to take it and put it right in the back of the
he'll
net.
definitely Danny Ings one.
Yeah, I just thank you. That's a great call. I see what you did there. So
or Mason Mount.
For me, those are the kind of games we dropped points last year, so we win it this year. And little known fact, Sam, last time we gave up a goal at Goodison was against City in February.
That's a good thing to do.
Goodison's starting to become a fortress again.
That's
which
a good thing
is
to do.
Very, very good for Everton. I guess with Watford, this is not the normal. We are the champions of the first 5 games of the season. They are the worst team in the league right now.
Yep.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. They're creating chances. They're not finishing. Their midfield is getting overrun fairly easily, to be honest. So
they
they're
have
not
talent.
They're not really controlling games.
Decore and Capu are 2 very good central midfielders, and they're getting worked.
Yep. I don't know.
Is it like a lack of communicate? Is it what they're doing on the training pitch isn't translating to games? Are they not listening to the manager? Is they just? But something does not seem to be working, and that's not good for Watford.
I think all the shit we talk about Bournemouth in there, are they going to get figured out? And why I say they won't be is because their style is very counterattacking. It's very instinctual. There's not a lot of build-up to it. It's sit back a little bit and then hit teams on the break quickly. Watford is good enough. They're perfect example. They're like Leicester under Claude Puel.
Okay.
They try to hold on to games, right? They try to boss possession. They try to do things. Deeney's old and immobile. They're not bringing on Danny Welbeck. He's probably still hurt, to be honest.
Oh, he did come in this game.
Oh, he did?
I
didn't even see
useless.
that, to be honest with you.
Useless.
Big surprise.
Did nothing.
I mean, after a broken ankle.
You can't expect Delafeu to be like a talisman pointman.
Every time. No.
He's a wing
not.
guy.
That's the other thing. And Pereira is with them. Another flash player.
Yeah, it's all about, for them, it's all about speed on the wings and ball control.
Which
you can't expect them to sit in the middle and take a hit. They're just not that kind of guy.
If the rest of the team is going to play slower than they are, it's not going to come off.
Mm-mm.
So I think a lot of it's going to boil down to, can they mix up their style enough with these older players or immobile players up front that they can hit teams when they least expect it, like Bournemouth does, which is why I don't think Bournemouth's going to be found out, because they play that counterattack as opposed to the boring side-to-side kind of build-up, and then we'll see if we get a hole, but they're playing so slow that no holes get created.
Right.
Like Leicester did under Puel.
Everton under Koeman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. So I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, I think I forgot his goddamn name again. The coach for Watford. I do this every week.
Yeah. It's Ghazi.
Ghazi? No, he's Portuguese.
Yeah, but it's Z.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Let's go on to the next.
Mel's going to do some live admin.
We've spoken enough about this.
He's got to do something to mix it up. That's my point.
The Graham Potter's Brighton showing some real offense, like really lively.
He looks like Mikey in 30 years.
Oh, our Mikey?
Our Mikey.
Yes, definitely.
Does he not?
Yeah, one of the guys on Drunkard United. He definitely looks like him. 30-year-old version of him.
He's slight, but he knows what he's doing. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
But
yeah, no, absolutely.
It's translating.
It's a complete shift in style.
And they were already a good defensive team.
And they still are. Absolutely still are.
Yeah.
Fabianski was forced into some early saves as West Ham started very slowly again. And they went behind from a volley to Trossard on his debut. Psych. Fucking VAR again. It actually took until the second half for the breakthrough. And Chicharito timed his run well. The old elder statesman of West Ham, Chicharito, because Sebastian Haller got hurt.
Ale got hurt, and Anderson was out as well, which I think definitely affected.
Absolutely.
Probably affected your bet as well, because I
Correct.
think they could have had the game if.
Me too.
Yeah.
But then he selfishly finished after he had a teammate in the middle, actually, with no one around him. Got lucky. Matt Ryan got a hand to it, but it did continue one go in the back of the net. Trossard then scored for real. A first goal to equalize after he composed himself well and struck ferociously into the far bottom corner. And then Maupay should have scored late on, but didn't, as should have Davy Proper. And then a good save from Matt Ryan at the end, denying Snodgrass and Mikel Antonio in the last few minutes. And that, for me, was all of the action.
Yeah, I think West Ham probably would have been suited a little bit better if those two players had been on the pitch. But Brighton looks good. They look like they'll be all right. Now, it's a long season, and we saw how much they faltered last year, so hopefully that doesn't happen to them again. Moving into the next game with Manchester United and Wolverhampton, I was pretty busy out there in the city today, so walked into a bar just in enough time to see Pogba fucking dive, run at a penalty kick normally, and watch it get saved. What else happened?
I don't think it was a dive.
Left
foot got clipped.
Okay, but he lifted himself like 2 feet in the air when it happened. He was
the
like,
left foot got clipped.
Whoa! Or as I like to call, pulling a Neymar.
Yes.
He sold the fuck out that one.
United did start well, and it was capped off by a lovely move that saw Martial fire into the roof of the net, left-footed. A couple of half chances for Wolves, but United really had the better of the play in the first half. And then, again, much like the Chelsea match, the second half was all Wolves. They grew into the game well, inspired by Armand Traore. A peach of a goal following a short corner routine from Ruben Neves. That was reviewed by VAR, which annoyed the fuck out of me. No pants-off, dance-off for the pen, like you just said. And Pogba missed it. To be honest, it was actually pretty well struck, even though it was a comfortable height for Rui Patricio. And he did well to get across and save it.
And kept his foot on the line, too. You see VAR, his foot's on the line. He's fully extended, and his foot is still on the line as he's diving.
United had another chance that Luke Shaw put straight at the goalkeeper, and somebody else had another chance also that Rui Patricio saved well.
Here's a dumb thought, because this is what's happened so far with both penalties. And if it is, this is the stupidest bit of coaching ever. Rashford got the foul. Rashford took the penalty. Pogba got the foul. Pogba took the penalty. Please do not tell me that Ole is going to the old tactic of you got fouled, you take the penalty. Because 90% of the time, well, not 90% of the time, but most of the time, you fucking miss if you're the fucking guy who got hurt.
So, 2 things. Post-match, Ole was asked about this. He said, we have 2 penalty takers, Pogba and Rashford. They discuss amongst themselves and decide who takes it. Whoever feels more confident.
Okay.
Yeah. Pogba's an arrogant prick. He's always going to feel more confident.
I'm amazed Pogba let Rashford take the first one.
Yeah. Exactly. Also, after having scored, why Rashford didn't feel comfortable taking this one, I don't know.
Rashford takes every one until he misses one.
And if I can
Because
slowly...
if I'm Rashford, I'm going to look at Pogba and go, nope, I take it till I miss.
Yeah. If I can slowly remove Thierry Henry's genitals from my face, he never took a penalty
They've been there permanently.
that he drew, ever. He was the penalty taker.
You
but
don't.
If he won the foul, he would never take the pen.
You're thinking you just got your leg whacked or something like that.
Yep.
You're not.
Your adrenaline's going. You're appealing for the penalty really hard. Something is going where you're not in the right frame of mind.
So why I always love seeing Leighton Baines take penalties because he had nothing to do with the play. He just strolled right up.
Took the pen.
90%, 99% of the time it was in the back of the net.
Absolutely.
And he just walked away.
100%. And at first, if Henry got fouled, Laurent was taking him, the old Ivory Coast international. And then after that, it was Sylvain Viltor and then Robert Pires for a long time. But my point is that one of the greatest goal scorers that the Premier League has ever seen, if he got fouled,
didn't take a penalty.
He wouldn't take the pen.
Yeah,
but in all other situations, he took the penalties.
Yeah,
because he was the penalty taker. He just knew after appealing for it, after going hard at the referee, after getting fouled, picking up a little knock potentially, whatever, he wasn't going to perform to the highest of his ability. So it was on the next guy.
Yep, absolutely.
So I think that's partially what happened here. However, that being said, Rashford won it last week, and Rashford scored. I don't know. Maybe it was no pants off, dance off, and that just fucked it up.
Yeah, apparently he needs
He's got to do a little salsa, a little shimmy.
Bunch of steps, and that'll always work. So going into the last match, the Cherries never won on the road. The Cherries won on the road.
Yeah,
Wait,
I've been listening to that bullshit all year. Oh, yes, Graham.
That's true, you have. Can I real quick? I wanted to talk about Nuno Espirito Santo's comments at the end of
yes,
the game.
yes, about the AR.
Yeah, this was important to me. It's not a direct quote. It's more of a summary of what he said. But after Ruben Neves' goal and the minute-long or so delay of checking to see if the shoulder blade of João Moutinho was offside, Nuno said, "Don't take the emotion away from people. This is football. It's most important." That emotion, that second after you score a goal, that eruption of the crowd, that just everything, that is what we're here for. That's what we live for. That's the point. That's why we do this.
And you take it all away by
45
seconds of let's see if this goal matters or not. And
I'm
that
not
goal
sure.
was a cracker.
It was fantastic. And I'm not sure who saw the live broadcast on the NBC Sports Network here in America, but you can see the referees. They showed the referees adjusting the lines, right, on the computer screen. They didn't show the referees themselves, just the screen. But you could see them show it, like, adjusting, okay, here's the end of the ball, and then drawing a line from João Moutinho's shoulder down to see if it came on the other side of it or not. It's just, and it took a minute and a half to configure the dynamics.
Like
it's ridiculous.
That's how meticulous you're going to be on an offsides.
It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
Considering that the referees 90% of the time get the calls correct. You know, it's what this is a reaction to the one or two monstrous gaffes that happen in a year. And this is the response to it, is we're going to overanalyze the fuck out of it. But then in the case of the stupid handball, we're not going to pay attention to the fact that the guy was grabbing him and used his hand himself. Who cares about that?
And he also had no idea that it hit his hand. There was no advantage gained by it.
Right. It's ridiculous.
It's pitiful. It's really it sucks. And I think Nuno is 100% accurate.
Yep.
Don't take the emotion out of my football.
And good news is next week there'll be another VAR call for us to bitch about.
I know.
So
at some point we're just gonna have to do a special
again,
and then never talk about it again.
the Cherries never went on the road. And the Cherries went on the road.
Yeah. Y'all been telling me that bullshit all last year, all year. Cherries never went on the road. Cherries never went on the road. Huh.
It also didn't help that Tom
Defensive-
Heaton decided to give up a penalty in the first 8 seconds of the match.
Defensive midfielders decide to dummy 30 yards away from goal to no one.
Yes.
Jack Grealish was a full 15 yards, 20 yards away from him, and he dummied to nobody.
Hey, refer to him by his proper title. 20 straight losses in the Premier League, Jack Grealish. Thank you very
First
much.
player to ever do so.
A lot
Just
of
joking,
stupid
Lindsay, just
mistakes in
joking.
the first 15 minutes.
It was a cracking atmosphere at Villa Park. Even
This
after they
is-
went behind, they still got behind the team. It was brilliant.
So the easiest comparison to make of this team is Fulham, because Fulham spent a lot of money. This feels more like a team finding its way, not a team that was completely lost from the get-go like Fulham was.
All right.
So I
like that. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
I mean, they have a plan, and they look together. I think they've had a couple of difficult games.
Yeah.
And
a slow start. I'm a Redskins fan. I'm used to that shit.
yeah, but like Tom Heaton, he's not.
It's okay. You
he's
got a no
not-
3 start coming up in just a second anyways.
But Tom Heaton doesn't do that.
That's a dig.
Tom Heaton doesn't do that type of shit.
Yeah, it just...
That's not normal for him.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Yeah.
Harry Wilson's on loan from Liverpool. He's not there to crack a 40-yarder. That
Yeah.
also took a wicked deflection
Yeah.
off old white bitch Tyrone Mings. That's... Listen to the transfer special, you'll understand.
Now, Sammy, we forgot the most important thing is that Villa lost, so someone needs to have a drink. But we've decided to go away from the bad elf glass, and we now have a new glass.
Oh.
Why don't you describe what we...
Hold on, Facebook Live. Facebook Live. This is fantastic.
So what we have here is a lovely little mason jar style shot glass with the Newcastle logo on it. Sorry, Alan.
Because this is now Mike Ashley in a bottle.
Yes, Mike Ashley in a
Now
bottle.
Mike Ashley in a Newcastle glass.
So yes. So that is now our new Malort Challenge shot glass. Will be this lovely, lovely little Newcastle mason jar. And Melissa, as we're waiting
Yes.
for
I
Sam
know,
to try
I'm
to bring up
watching
the
him.
video where you're so quick at it, like you're on the ball and he's just there.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
I mean, it's not like we haven't run long enough on this show already. God, you could tell it's been a late night. We are
It's on. We're
we
on.
are
We're
a
now starting it?
We have
Hi.
been a disaster. So, Mel, I believe you have a particular
Yes.
fan out there.
Oh, yes, Taylor.
You know,
Hi, Taylor. Taylor, it's going to be really painful when next Friday at about 5 o'clock, you're going to have to crack open your brand new bottle of Malort and take a shot because we've got Aston Villa versus Everton on Friday. And both Houston's and hopefully Lindsay will be at
And
Fido.
Mr. Graham will
you
be
be there
there.
too?
Carly doesn't land until 5:45.
Happy hour at Fido in downtown Annapolis on Friday for the Villa versus Everton.
Taylor, you're not going to have to pop the bottle this week. It's
You're going
okay.
to drink at Taylor, and we're going
But-
to make a video at Taylor, and I
but-
want to hear how bitter it tastes, Taylor.
So I want you to also know, apparently someone has a new villain.
Apparently, the bitterness from last week still hasn't left her mouth.
Because Big Sam's big bottle of Malort's been trolling me on Twitter.
Don't worry, it's going to be called Producer Bell's Bottle of Malort soon enough.
Absolutely.
I see a name change coming for that Twitter handle.
That's right.
Because possession is 9/10 of the law, and right now, 100% of that law
Is
hers.
hers.
100% of that ownership is hers.
So
Go ahead.
let's sip up.
I'm an adult. I can do this.
Let's see what you got. Ooh, took it right down like a £9.95
Hold on.
spaghetti dinner.
I got a pickleback chaser to go with this.
Oh, boo.
The Baltimorean in her.
That's right.
Ooh,
all
that
right.
did not make it better.
Taylor, I want you to wait. You're not going to have to crack the bottle this week, but when we do eventually lose and you do have to crack the bottle,
And scene.
It's
we are
fucking
going
awful.
to I want you to wait because I'm definitely going to have you call into the show and do it live with us on the show the first time you
He'll
have
do
to
it
drink.
live.
He'll do it live. So, beautiful.
It's all right. So
Can we
come Friday, 3 o'clock, Fidel in Annapolis, to see Miss Clarette Blue Eyes Lindsay and I beat Everton.
Can we quickly just say how good John McGinn is?
Oh, he's pretty decent.
Had 3 efforts on target, a little wide of target, but clean strikes. That another day would have gone to the back of the net. They were fantastic. And Douglas Luiz made up for that stupid-ass error, much like Ndidi did, Wilfred Ndidi did for Leicester, with a fucking better goal than Ruben Neves, in my opinion. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was fucking awesome. Dodgy hair, though.
Oh,
Sorry.
Hey, look at our producer hitting up
Got a
all
little-
the sound,
Gotta get excited
sound
on the
parts
button.
on the board. So
I was verping while I had my finger hovering over the button, so I blame Malort on that one.
There we go.
it's time to tell you what little we know. It is prediction time. We suck.
Yeah, we're bad.
God, man.
Even the chicken didn't do well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, everybody lost. Chicken lost today. Remember, she thought
Good.
Manchester United was going to win.
Good. Those wings earlier were excellent.
Oh, shit. So,
It's like those are made from buffaloes.
you just fucking, you silly goose. So, Sam, I've been thinking about it. Boy, you are
Obviously,
really happy
I
with yourself.
know that they're not made from buffaloes. Come on. Let's be real.
So, I've been thinking about it, and we've been doing it all wrong, Sam.
Okay.
Whenever we're at the track, how do we
I know where this is going.
get ourselves
You think
started?
You do, but you don't.
How do we get ourselves started for a day of betting at the track?
A couple of Jack Daniels or Woodfords.
And when those are done, what do we do with that first drink?
We keep the cup, and then we put our losers in it for the rest of the day.
And we call that the what?
The cup of losers.
Why, yes, we need
Ah.
a cup of losers. And Sam, I would like you to open said cup of losers for us to put our broken hopes and promises and dreams into. It's very important that you notice they packed it in 2 boxes.
I see that.
What do we have there? Oh, Sam's happy. What do we have, Sam?
We have Dort Spirect mugs.
An incredibly huge Sports Direct mug
I love it.
for us
This is
to
brilliant.
now.
You pass that to Mr. Houston.
Well,
for
no,
me,
first,
please?
sir, would you be so kind as to feed the cup? Yeah, the brilliant part of that is I got that in the mail, and I wanted to make sure you saw that they took it, packed it in a box, and then packed it in another box, because that's how Sports Direct works.
Well, you know what? Sports Direct could probably knock another 15 pence off of their tracksuit if they only used 1 box.
So
And
there
it is.
is.
I also am not sure what the bubble wrap stuffed inside the mug was going to do.
Oh, it was wrapped all around it
Oh, it
before.
was?
So
Okay. All right.
I just wanted to make sure you saw the double boxing feature.
Got
That
it.
is the quality
That is
of
Sports
shipmanship from
Shipmanship.
from Sports Direct.
Direct. Awesome.
Yes,
Brilliant.
so both Sam and myself lost. Kitty also
Absolutely
lost as
brilliant.
well today as she picked Manchester United to win. So as we've changed it up a little bit, Sam and I actually pick against the spreads each week, as he mentioned earlier on in the show. And our listener submission, our degenerate gambler friend Pat, of course, came in as he picked the over on 3.5 goals. So he is back on the hot seat, and let you know what he picked here. Hold on 1 second. Allow me to clear my throat, please. All right. As I'm getting text messages from you, I think.
No.
All right. No,
Nope.
from my producer.
From your wife.
Yes. For this week's Saturday primetime game, it's Liverpool versus Arsenal. I like the odds in this game. The bookies here have Liverpool -1 goal and at -140 with a +1 for the Gunners at +105. If you're Sam H., you might want to swing for the fences, as in me, Big Sam, and pick the Gunners at +450. I had seen that at one point at +600 even.
It
in
is
the middle
right
of the week.
now, currently. Give me 1 second. Update. Refresh. You're getting live admin here on the Drunken United Football Show.
I'm going to continue reading.
Full time +500.
All right, so we'll give you 500. Well, no, Pat didn't take it anyway. So to win straight up and make some money off of his rivals losing, yes, I would love that. But his long shots rarely hit. I've picked one long shot so far. Settle the fuck down. I picked a draw in the other game. Jesus Christ. Already getting shit talked to me, and I've barely even bet yet. I don't like the over-under, so it looks like the bookies have got the right number at this game at 3.5 goals over at -120 and the under at -110. Sammy might not like to hear this, but with Liverpool winning 3 out of the last 5 matches with an average of 3 goals and a draw in the other 2, I'll put my winnings for this week, the 100 that he won, to win 70 more as Liverpool wins covering a -1. And he said, I'll give a bonus pick. I really like Everton with the half goal at +110 on Friday. So he's going to put 25 on that one just for fun.
So that one doesn't count towards the submission.
No.
It's only the first one.
His is Liverpool to win and covering by a goal. So, Sam, what's your pick?
So we actually have one more submission.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Who else submitted?
We're normally only going to read one out a week, but we do want to encourage people to keep going.
And if you're winning, you're going to keep betting. So
right.
And if somebody comes up with a fun bet, we'll go ahead and throw you in with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually, Chef Bentley, who you may remember from last season.
He never cooked for me, that bastard.
Actually, in about 6 weeks, I think it is, if you are in the Bridgeport, Connecticut area, he's opening a restaurant.
Fantastic. We talked about it before.
Yep, it's a carry-out. Surf versus turf. So check that out when you get a chance if you are in the Bridgeport, Connecticut area. Anyway, he is going to go with a fun bet, actually. A halftime Arsenal lead.
Okay.
Halftime Arsenal lead is +410.
So Arsenal to be up wins him 410.
Yep.
Very good.
On a $100 bet wins him 410. Yep. And for me, so my thing is the full-time score that Pat so generously disregarded. I'm going to pick the Arsenal to win at +500. I think Liverpool looks sluggish, and I think you're going to finally see the 3-tip trident of Aubameyang, Nicolas Pepe, and Alexandre Lacazette. And they're going to run ragged the Liverpool back four.
I thought they called that the Viper.
No, that's the Shocker.
Oh, the Shocker. Okay.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, buddy.
Yeah, I heard. Hopefully that's what they do to Liverpool.
We appeal to bros.
Now, yes.
Stay tuned for the White Claw episode.
Oh, by the way, that is totally coming. We're definitely doing a White Claw
I'm
episode.
already vaping.
So
I'm easing it in.
You know, Sam, I got to tell you for my pick. As a gambler...
I'm going to get a Jewel Pod.
Thank you. As a gambler, you have a number in your head, and that number is, okay.
10 million.
Now it's time for me to grind it back to get even. And for me, baby, we ain't even close. I haven't started to fall into the depths of my addiction. That is all there is to it. So I'm actually not as ballsy as you are, Mr. Graham, but I, too, am taking the Arsenal-Liverpool match. And I am taking the draw at +375.
Wow. All right.
That is what I am going with.
So we're all going to be down 300.
Yes. Now, if that was enough, that would be amazing. But no, we give you more. We give you Kitty the Chicken.
Every week, Houston and I dance. And every week, Sam looks down at himself and wonders what he's doing with us. We need to get some video on that action happening over there.
Do.
Mr. Houston is embodying the #QuickFat mantra, and he is getting his boogie on.
Moment lost. You had your chance. Too bad.
All right. I'll get it next week.
All right. So
get ready for it.
What do you got for us with Kitty?
All right. So the other day, I went up to the coop to visit the girls, but Kitty wasn't there.
Where the hell was Kitty?
Well, Gertrude said she ran out to meet some friends. So I called her on her cell phone to get her game pick. Now, she was annoyed that I was bothering her during her afternoon tea. So she sent me a selfie of her eating scones with 2-time Academy Award winner Tom Hanks and the future King of England, Prince William.
Wow.
Fuck you, Kitty.
Wow,
So-
cheating on Sam with another
so
bald
from
man.
that, we can deduce that Sam's favorite chicken, Kitty, is going to side with me and is picking Aston Villa over Everton.
Kitty.
So Kitty, hashtag Villanista.
Dun dun dun.
Kitty, since you were a little chick, I held you in my arms and petted you. I petted you just the other day. This is how you're
Yeah,
gonna
but
treat
I
me?
bring her blueberries and pumpkin
Hey,
seeds.
let me tell you something about apples. They always fall far from the tree.
Heard.
So there you go. And like always, everybody, please gamble legally and responsibly.
I wasn't there again. Big Sam's going to talk about it.
We lost again.
Talk to you later. Have a good week.
Tough one. Lost 3-2. Second time facing Noreen. Played a tough match. Just we had a lot of opportunities early that we didn't take advantage of. Is what it really came down to. That's a game where we should have had 4-1, 5-2 lead at halftime.
Yeah.
We really did not take advantage
That
of our
happens against them
opportunities.
from time to time. Their goalkeeper's decent.
Yeah, good keeper. Well, I mean, it was we had him beat and we couldn't put him away kind of things. But we look good. It's tough. We're going to be battling to stay up. Relegation's probably in our future. We'll go back down and kick the shit out of Division 2.
Yeah.
That
I can't stop laughing at the Sports Direct mug.
It makes you so happy.
It's very funny.
I knew it would make you happy. I like to make you happy, Sam. It makes me
it's
happy
very
when you're
good.
happy.
He just could not wait all day.
It's
He's like,
so
it's gonna be
good.
so great.
Yes.
We'll pull it out and he'll unbox it.
I know. That's so exciting. And I talked to you 3 times today.
Yep, kept it to myself.
You kept it to yourself. I'm
I've
very
had it
proud
all
of you for
weekend.
that.
I was like, yeah,
all
he
weekend.
got that
Wow.
on. He got that on Friday.
Damn.
Yep.
I
Kept it quiet.
feel a little betrayed, to be honest.
Well, aren't you happier when you open that box?
I
with
am.
The
That was very
pure,
good. That's very
pure
good.
boyish charm of
Roy Hodgson and Neil
Warlock. Like,
Yeah.
you got all excited. You like bumped
Oh, it
your
was
fist
brilliant.
and
That was
everything. It was
good.
Oh, yeah, I have
fantastic.
it on
That was
video.
very good.
We'll have the video on our Facebook page, DU Football Show.
So that about wraps it up. Sammy, any
does.
parting words?
Not really, to be honest. I think we got everything this time. Just get in touch.
Okay.
Good, because I have parting words.
At DU Football Show on the socials and dufootballshow@gmail.com. And
I'm not gonna make you hit the mute button.
No, you told me to do this.
Okay.
Oh,
Don't-
worry.
I've been a good girl this whole show.
I didn't know about this.
Short leash. Go ahead. What do you got?
Again,
So-
I should start attending the pre-show
You
meetings.
really should. We were too busy eating gyros during our pre-show meeting. So starting next week, I'm going to be airing commercials. This summer, when we've had all the guests in the studio, I've been sitting down with them after every show and just asking them some questions like how long have they been a fan, what made them a fan, and I'm putting them together into little 45-second commercial packages that I'll be airing every week, all to just showcase the fandom of our fans. After all, this is the People's Podcast for the fans, by the fans.
Damn right it is.
Yeah, Graham's not happy
I
with
still
that
don't
one.
agree with this.
But it's okay. And so I'll be airing those starting next week, and every week we'll have a different commercial for a different team.
So
Sweet.
For newer people that are still kind of getting into
Like-
the league that have been
like
listening to us.
My brother-in-law, who is a fan of the show but doesn't have a team yet, these are going to be commercials all geared towards you, Brother D.
his daughter has a team. It's fucking Everton.
It's 'cause
that
apparently
child's Everton.
They're
It's
born, not
Well,
made.
it
Isn't that
shows-
the thing?
born,
it-
not manufactured. Thank you.
It shows the respect he has for you as the patriarch of this leg of the family.
Thank
that
you.
he hasn't picked that yet.
Yeah. No, he's
He's probably gonna come out
pretty
Everton,
much he's
but-
pretty much on Everton. He always
Sorry.
asks me
My
about the
youngest
matches
brother's
and stuff.
Liverpool, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, ugh, terrible.
I know. Tell me about it.
Oh, just thank you very much again for joining us, boys and girls. Did want to say, looked back over the summer session, saw there was a ton of positive reviews on and 5-star reviews and everything on Apple Podcasts, which was really wonderful. Sam, you need to say something?
I also looked back over the summer sessions,
Yes.
and as I predicted, Arsenal episode is still 2 downloads ahead of the Everton episode.
Yeah, but you said mine was going to be the lowest rated, and it was not. So that's all I care
Still
about.
lower than mine, so I don't give a shit what I said.
And I don't care because both of them are lower than the Villanista episode.
And all of those are lower than frenemies, because frenemies is still number one with a bullet.
Not their game wasn't. Their
Oh,
game was
no.
absolute dick shit.
So, thank you very much for all the positive words. That really means a lot to us. And on a fun side note, last night I was a guest on the Earfloss podcast, which is a music podcast. It's going to get posted in about 3 weeks. Talked about the musical artist Lizzo. So, like a pop hip-hop person, I decided to expand my horizons a little bit from this old punk Gen X guy and listen to something different, and did a really, really, really fun podcast. And once that show's going to get posted, I'll make sure I share that on the socials. But in the meantime, it's a great little podcast about the history of music and just individual band every week, and a few episodes in, and it's been a lot of fun.
And what's that? You search Earfloss?
Earfloss is the
on
name.
iTunes
Yep.
and all this, all the platforms.
Oh yeah, I've been pimping you. I'm going to start pimping you guys out to be guests on other podcasts. If you want to have either Sam appear on your podcast, hit me up. I'm their pimp.
Heard pimp. So anyways.
DFootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch.
All right, everybody. Till next week.
Good night.
Maybe sometimes some of us just need a little joy, and maybe we need to hear Cookie Monster say, it's time to go. And maybe we need Cookie Monster to tell us when we get there, applaud that we're happy, and say we need to celebrate with a fucking cookie. Because sometimes we need to celebrate with a fucking cookie.
Do you have a cookie?
Mel.
No.
You son of a bitch.